Tonight on Debate Amongst Friends. Doc and Prof welcome two new guests to the show, Mac and Mel P, to the debate to discuss the great quarterback Aaron Rodgers versus Brady debate. NFL news, including NFL teams yelling, "Tag, you're it." Mike Vick tells Cap to shape it up. And in the FGC, there's a new Street Fighter champion in town, and his name is Tokido. WWE and more, starting now.
Ladies and gentlemen of the internet, welcome to Debates Among Friends, live on YouTube and on Twitch. This is the 63rd episode of the Sports Podcast on July 19th, 2017. We're glad you decided to join us on this Wednesday evening. I am your host, the Professor John Gotti, and always by my side, he may not be 7 foot tall, but he is the big guy himself, Doc Ocean. How you doing tonight, sir?
Well, I know there's one thing I can tell you. You can't teach this. I'm doing great, sir. How are you?
Pretty good, man. Still trying to recover from the evolution. I mean,
you know it's a mystery.
That was the first joke of that, wasn't it? We're gonna have this all night long, aren't we?
Yeah, we're definitely doing this for the Maharaja.
Oh no! He was doing so good.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Dang it!
Come on!
Oh goodness! I can't believe this. I'm so disappointed in you. So
early.
So early. Like,
I'm sorry.
Just no regard for human emotions whatsoever, Doctor. But we got ourselves a stacked show tonight, talking about some Evo, as you mentioned in the intro. But we also have our first subject, Brady versus Rodgers. But we can't get it alone because this kind of discussion shouldn't just require Doc and Prof. We enlisted the name of two souls with great minds in the sporting world. Doc, who are they?
We have Mac and Mel P. Mac obviously writes for the UNC blog, so he's very well familiar with the sporting world. And Mel P from our great Four Eyes podcast. Welcome to the show, gentlemen. Welcome.
So, thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. So apparently there was a debate on Facebook, which I couldn't get in on. Tom Brady versus Aaron Rodgers.
Yes. The question was, who would you take number one in an all-time NFL draft between these two QBs?
Now, I already agreed that I would go last because I didn't want to. I wanted to hear what people said. I wasn't on the discussion yesterday because I was doing other things. But I would be curious to hear what everybody's take on it is. I know, John Gotti, you said you had your opinion. I know I heard Mel P. You had a strong opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we should start with Mel P.
The floor is yours.
Chris, what was that, Chris?
Chris,
okay, so it seems like
we literally just started, Chris. We really have these kind of problems already? Chris. Chris. Chris!
Okay, sounds like we got Mel P back. Chris is... Mel P.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. So what was your...
My whole thing of it was, yes, I understand where everybody comes from with the whole Aaron Rodgers, but how could you not want to start a franchise with Brady? I mean, I'm not even going to start from the championships. and the guy's just like, I mean, how could you not want to go? I mean, part of being a leader has always been he's had only one missed season throughout his whole career, one major injury throughout his whole career, and seems to play every game. I mean, last year, yeah, he took the 4-game hit, but I mean, he still put up MVP numbers last year. To where, and I mean, I know most people go with the whole he's always had weapons, but he always makes weapons out of basically nobody. Sometimes he makes nobodies in the stars. Case in point, this year, I mean, Aaron Rodgers, he's had what, 3 top-notch wide receivers every year he's been there. I mean, Jennings. Might even want to say Cobb. Some people may even say. So I mean, that's where I'm coming from with the whole thing. Like I said, I get the whole everybody likes Aaron Rodgers, but me personally, I rather go with the clutch guy, and he's clutch.
Tom Brady, gotcha. Mac, who do you got? I mean, I don't let personal feelings cloud your judgment. I know.
Why you put me in the box, man?
You're going straight down the line here. Oh. Who you got?
Ooh.
This is a rough one. I know.
Yeah. So going straight down the line, unbiased.
Of course.
I would. You know, it's tough because I mean, I personally feel like sometimes when it comes to Tom Brady, the lines between where, you know, how good he is and where how good of a coach Belichick is, they kind of blur. And I mean, and that's not taking anything away from Brady. Like, he's obviously a very, very talented quarterback.
Absolutely.
One of the best we'll ever see. But Aaron Rodgers has a lot of tools too. Like, he has a little bit more athleticism. You know, he's able, you know, like scramble, get out of trouble, all that. He hasn't really played behind that many good offensive lines, and so for him to be able to do what he does with the risk of getting hit all the time, I find is impressive. I mean, you know, like Tom Brady hasn't exactly played behind like the absolute best lineman the whole time, but you know, I mean, I just feel like, you know, if you put Aaron Rodgers in Tom Brady's situation in New England, things might be a little bit more interesting than even with Brady there. But that I have that feeling. So I would probably take Rodgers a little bit over Brady, just with that in mind. I feel like some of the things that he can do just like creatively inside and outside of the pocket would be something that would kind of push him to the edge. I was trying to see.
Absolutely.
Yes. So I'm going to start off my argument by saying both quarterbacks, Hall of Fame caliber, heck of athletes. I mean, you really can't go wrong with either or. But the matter of this debate is to
always going PC.
The matter of this debate is to choose one. And if I had to choose one to start off a franchise completely with, I'm counting in, you know, it's, let's just say like a scrub coach, you know, scrub defensive line, scrub defense, a scrub, you know, core. Like someone who can start building more people that's just not part of the system. I had to go with Aaron Rodgers.
Hold on. Even though Brady just did what you just said, though.
With the franchise that basically was pretty good by the time he became the starter. So
that's a good point.
I mean, at what point did he help build up Bill Belichick to be, you know, the coach that he is right now? What point did he, you know, not have at least one side of the ball that, you know, he can lean on to help out? And I'm talking about defense and offensively. Like, when I'm thinking about it as, like, the Packers, approach the Aaron Rodgers situation as, we're rebuilding, we're looking to build around him. I don't really think they really said that, though. In New England.
I think, but at the same time, I mean, if you look at the way that both players came into their starting roles, Aaron was brought in behind Brett Favre, who was already Hall of Fame quarterback, who already. But Brady came in.
We missed a little bit of what you said.
I was saying like Aaron came in. He came in behind Brett Favre, who was already accomplished so much, and the team was already good. He didn't have any. He didn't really, he didn't have to. They didn't really have to change too much. But when Brady came in off the bench, team they was mediocre, good. First year he started, went to a Super Bowl.
Oh, definitely.
They didn't really have no starter players. They didn't have we know how Belichick is. He don't get star players like that.
So because they didn't have star players, so what you're saying is that the Patriots were bums, or were they just?
I'm not saying they were bums. No, they weren't bums. No.
But but my point is you're not inheriting a team that were just pretty good, because the Patriots were pretty good by the time Tom Brady finally took over. That I'm not saying what you're saying is incorrect. I'm just saying the point of the question is you're trying to build a franchise around this quarterback. So building a franchise around the quarterback, when you think about it, and I'm thinking about it in the way of basketball and football, is you're using that quarterback to build up the entire team. The team stinks. The team was like not even playoff caliber, not even on the way of it. Like, I'm thinking about it in that sense.
I'm thinking about it as in when they took over. I mean, like I said, both of them came in at two different. My bad. I was saying they had two different ways coming in. I mean, Brady only set a year and a half. Aaron Rodgers set maybe 2 or 3 years. Right or wrong?
Absolutely.
Okay, so when Brady took over, his team, I mean, they were still trying to get used to him as well as him getting used to them. Aaron Rodgers, he had a lot more time to sit on the bench and learn that philosophy of how Mike McCarthy ran. So that's what I'm trying to get. Like, I understand the whole part, but I mean, it's just kind of hard to say that they're building on Aaron Rodgers when Aaron Rodgers came into a real good situation compared to how Brady came in.
Let's see. So, based off your argument, you're saying that Aaron Rodgers came into a better situation. 11-3 2001, 9-7 2002, 14-2 2003 2004, 10-6. That doesn't sound like he came into a bad situation though.
But he didn't start until the 2001 season. He wasn't drafted until 99.
And I understand that, but I'm basically piggybacking what you're saying though.
Okay, but he didn't start till 2001 when he started his first full season. He came in halfway in 90, if I'm not mistaken.
Alrighty. So,
well, I mean, like I said, I understand either point of view of it. I mean, I understand why people would say Aaron Rodgers. Hell, I mean, I probably would too. That'll probably be my second choice. But just going off of the whole clutch factor and resume that they have now, have to go.
All right. Of course, I appreciate everybody's opinion. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say, of course, since you gave a PC answer, I got to give a PC answer. Both guys are great quarterbacks. You know, they're absolutely great quarterbacks.
That was very gaudy of you, sir.
Yes, I thought so. You guys make some great points, and some of the points that I agreed with. I will say that Aaron Rodgers did have a better overall team, even though looking back on it, the running game wasn't all there, and some of the offensive linemen might have been a little bit too young at the time. Some of them are pretty good now, but they're still pretty young. I mean, but when you look at this team, they were pretty stacked. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers. They had Ryan Grant, who was still coming into his own. Brandon Jackson, Donald Driver, Greg Jennings, James Jones, a rookie Jordy Nelson, Jermichael Finley, Donald Lee. So they had a great amount of pieces. I will say that the Patriots defense might have been a little better. And I think that's where they would get the nod if we were talking about teams. But if we're talking about a quarterback to lead you into your future. Now, there's only one factor in this, and this is the only reason I'm going to make this decision, is because if you don't have a certain system, you don't have the same type of player. So I'm going to go on a limb here and say that I would probably pick Aaron Rodgers also. And the only reason I'm going to say that, it's not because I think Tom Brady's not great. I think Tom Brady is a great quarterback. But the New England system, I feel like, was built specifically for Tom Brady. And the only reason I say that, actually, I take that back. The New England system is built for any quarterback that they bring in.
Okay, yeah.
And right, John Gotti. Right, exactly. John Gotti would agree. Matt Schaub traded. I'm sure Brandon knows all about that. Traded. Didn't do so well. He started out. He had a spark when he started, but he turned out to be garbage. Matt Castle had a great season, but at the end of the day, I give a lot of Brady's credit and accolades to the Josh McDaniels, to the Charlie Weisses. Those offensive coordinators worked to make sure he was successful. The short passes, he doesn't need top flight receivers. He really just needs somebody that's going to catch the football. But you think about it, over the years where they had Kevin Falk for a lot of his beginning years. So, I mean, Kevin Falk out of the backfield was outstanding. But they also had some pretty solid wide receivers, not to the tier that, Aaron Rodgers had, but Troy Brown was no slouch. Terry Glenn, some of these guys were pretty good. And he made it work because of the way that their system is. But that defense was pretty sick. Ty Law is probably one of my favorite corners. Lloyd Malloy is probably one of my favorite safeties of all time. So it's like some of these guys that they had on the defense is really where it would have came and made a difference. But if I had to do it, I would probably take Aaron Rodgers because of his flexibility. Not because of his skill, but because he's more flexible and he's more able to adapt. Like, I don't think Tom Brady would be able to adapt to a long passing game if we needed him to, because he's never been asked to do that.
But he did do that though.
Because you have Randy Moss. That's not really a long pass. That's just, hey, let me throw the ball to Randy Moss.
Throw the Randy Moss. And Randy Moss is
come on. You can't count that year. He just threw it up. Yeah, I would throw it up to Randy Moss, and I can't throw 30, 40 yards.
I mean, that's literally what you do on Madden back in the day.
Yeah, like, just throw it up to Randy Moss.
Dante Culpepper to Randy Moss all day long.
Yes, all day. You have to. I mean, they probably didn't even have most of those plays written down in the playbook. Because I mean, come on. But like I said, Brady is a great quarterback. But I mean, you think about it. I mean, if you go back, if Bledsoe never gets hurt, do we hear Tom Brady? Does he get this push? Does he stay in a Patriots uniform? If, you just never know.
But you can say the same thing about Aaron, though. If they wouldn't have that beef with Brett Favre, with Aaron Rodgers, seriously, Aaron Rodgers.
We knew Rodgers was going to get the call. It was always just a matter of when. I mean, and when they pushed Brett Favre out, it was kind of awkward because it was like, hey, he wants to go to Minnesota. We don't want him to go to Minnesota because we don't want to play him 2 times a year. And then we had to play him anyway. Mm-hmm. So it was like, that's the only reason it was news, as John Gotti would say. It shouldn't have been news, but it was notable news. because it was Brett Favre. I mean, that's just it. But ultimately, I mean, sounds like 3-1. Obviously, we're choosing Aaron Rodgers. I'm really choosing him because I really believe that, number one, although Tom Brady, can definitely drive, I think it's a lot of play calling rather than, hey, he just knows it. You know what I mean? Now, of course, in his 15th, 16th year, 17th year, whatever it is.
Yep.
Yeah, he just knows it, and it's like I knew once they brought Josh McDaniels back that he was going to have another great season. He was going to try to destroy the league because him and Josh McDaniels just have this chemistry. But if you notice in those first 4 games when they had that rookie quarterback in, they planned it specifically for him. And when you plan a game specifically for a quarterback, I mean, it's kind of hard not to be successful. And that kid played great. So when Tom Brady goes out and that kid comes in.
Oh, you talking about the kid from NC State?
NC State, yes. That guy, oh my God. I can't wait to see him play football again.
I mean, and then there's the Jimmy Garoppolo factor, too.
And he had a great year. But I think he'll most likely be, I don't know, it's kind of tough. I don't know.
Well, and that kind of carries on to your point, though. It seems like whenever the Patriots, if Tom Brady was out he wasn't out often, obviously.
Right.
This Deflategate thing was a perfect example of how they tend to coach towards the quarterbacks, and it works really well somehow.
Right.
But then Aaron Rodgers goes down, and the Packers they don't even know how to football no more.
No idea. I mean, Matt Flynn had that year.
He did. He did pretty decent, but it seemed like everybody else that came in, it was if they won, it was kind of well, it wasn't going to be that hard to win that game, but then they'd get smacked the next game, and then I don't know. You could just tell all of the systematic stuff with the Patriots. Like I said, I'm not taking anything away from Brady as much as I would like to, but I'm not going to.
But you see what I mean? There's and most teams now, it is about next man up. We know it. It's about next man up. But with the Patriots, it's really something different. Next man up, I feel hey, the coaching staff is so prepared that it's next man up, that next guy is going to be a beast.
Yeah, it's Bill Belichick to the NFL is Greg Popovich to the Spurs.
Absolutely. I completely agree. And that is our discussion. So 3 Rodgers, 1 Brady, which is respectable because, again, 2 great quarterbacks.
And it's not saying that you can't go with either one. All we're trying to say is, it's a better, 1-2 because, of course, looking back at it now, Brady would be a number 2 pick after Aaron Rodgers based off this conversation. It won't be a RG3 Andrew Luck kind of situation.
Absolutely, which neither one of them right now is really looking great. But that's another discussion.
That's a different day.
So, NFL teams right now, 2 in particular that we're going to talk about, the Washington Redskins and the Pittsburgh Steelers at this point, and of course some other teams that do it very often, but they're tagging folks. So right now, obviously we know Kirk Cousins has been trying to get a long-term deal with the Washington Redskins for a long time. The Steelers are holding off on, signing Le'Veon Bell to the long-term contract. What do you guys think about these teams and their unwillingness to give these guys the long-term deal?
With Kirk Cousins, it's tough.
It is tough.
I mean, he's not a bad quarterback. Like, he's really not. There. Basically, when he took over the Redskins, like, I was waiting for that moment to where, like, he kind of, took, like, the dive that RG3 took, that Kaepernick took, so on and so forth, where it was just like, oh, yeah, you had your good year, but now you're just kind of falling into, like, mediocre. But, like, he's kind of stayed consistently good. Now, I personally don't know what kind of money that, Cousins would be looking for right now. I would say if he's asking for too much, like if he's trying to, max out his contract or whatever, I would take pause to that. Like, I don't think he's quite gotten to that point.
But when you look at the tags, though,
right,
he's gonna get that Russell. What? I almost said Westbrook.
Hilarious! I'm so glad it was you, not me.
He's gonna get that Russell Wilson. Obviously it can't happen again, but he would. Could you imagine if he got Wilson? Let's see who else is up there. I guess Matthew Stafford and Derek Carr money. We're talking about $20 to $25 million,
and it's possible. It's really possible. I mean,
with these tags.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, that's just me, like, if I was an owner, but, I mean, I wouldn't make a pretty good NFL owner, probably. But, like, yeah, and see, the thing is, I mean, they can tag him, but
John Gotti said this is the last tag.
This is the third straight year that they tagged him. And they could only tag him
third straight.
Which is crazy. You're talking about him getting money. I mean, don't get me wrong, $20-something million is great. And I mean, even if he, it's not like they're going to cut him and he's not going to get a job. The Browns are out there. So, I mean, he'll get a job no matter what. It's just depends on how much they're going to pay him.
Right. As far as Le'Veon Bell goes, the Steelers need to stop playing with their food. Pay the man. Just pay the man.
Le'Veon is good.
Yeah. I mean, if you have to risk injuries, fine. Look at what Minnesota did with Adrian Peterson.
True.
And I would say Le'Veon Bell is more valuable than that because, the Steelers actually get into the playoffs. A lot of that is because of Le'Veon Bell. It's like, you got to stop torn.
Yeah, his running style is something special.
It really is.
No, it's really crazy. Mel, what do you think about Le'Veon Bell and Kirk Cousins not getting the paycheck?
So you could go with Kirk is he better than the rest of the quarterbacks in your division?
Mm-hmm.
Is he better than Dak Prescott? Is he better than Eli? Is he better than who's the last one? Carson Wentz. Out of those three, I'll probably say he's probably in that third. I mean, maybe two.
Maybe two, yeah. Eli's on the decline, I think.
Eli's number one, obviously. Dak and him only got one season. And the same thing with Carson Wentz. You only have one season off the other two. So, I mean, he would have to be number two. I mean, can he get you to a Super Bowl? Can he get you to a playoff? I mean, me personally, if I had to, and I was the owner, I'd probably go 18 mil.
Yeah, that sounds about right. 18 million. And I think that they do need to pay Le'Veon Bell. I mean, he's probably going to get 13 to 15 million per year without question. He got to get paid more than
that 16.
Yeah, he's got to get paid. But I know we got to move on to the next topic. I heard the little buzzer. Did Michael Vick? And I was going to say this, but I didn't know if it was too soon. I didn't know. But did Michael Vick let the dogs out on Cap?
You did not just say that. Wait, hold on. Hold on. Helen.
Yes, Helen. I know, Helen.
Can he say that on there?
Can he say that? Come on, Helen. Come on.
She gave the thumbs up. You're fine, doctor.
Okay. I mean, he really told him to shape it up. I mean, Michael Vick telling somebody to shape it up? There's a lot of angry people. I mean, I didn't even read all of the articles and all of the comments, but there are some angry people out there with Mike Vick telling him that Cap needs to shape up his image. And I don't even think Cap's hair is bad. I don't think anything's wrong with it. I mean, really.
There's not.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, if he could fit under the helmet, who cares? Honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. I mean, but that's like Allen Iverson telling Kawhi Leonard to shape it up. You know, like,
yeah.
Or Allen Iverson telling anybody to shape it up. Really? That's like LeBron telling somebody not to, you know, not to do anything LeBron does. I was thinking of the word, but it just slipped my mind.
Well, you kind of have to wonder if Michael Vick was trying to, in any way, compare his situation to Colin Kaepernick, and it's not the same.
No, it's completely different.
Completely different.
Yeah.
If we're talking about fixing your image, like, you were a felon.
Right.
Kaepernick just took a knee. Like, he don't owe anybody anything, really, like, in terms of fixing his image or anything like that. No.
We should be paying him.
Right. He's been doing all kinds of things in the community and stuff ever since that whole thing transpired. Like, Colin Kaepernick's been, like, one of the better... I'm using the words role model loosely.
Very loosely.
Very, very loosely.
Loosely.
But, I mean... he's been doing so many good things that I think if you're going to look at anybody in the NFL and say you need to change something, he's not going to be on that list. Like, he keep on doing what he was doing. Probably needs to get a little bit better at football, but that's a whole other story in and of itself.
And some people made the argument that he had a good year, you know. And I guess people are looking at, what's his name? Let's say Ryan Fitzpatrick, for example. Mm-hmm. Ryan Fitzpatrick gets a job. And don't get me wrong, I wanted Tampa to pick up Kaepernick, but I don't want them to pay $10 to $15 million for a backup, even though we were going to pay the same amount for, what's his name? Mike Glennon.
Yep.
You know, which that was a whole other thing. Mike Glennon going to Chicago to get gazillions of dollars, and then they draft the number one. You know, they draft the quarterback number one. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
but that's something completely different. But I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of weird, you know. And Chris just let us know that Melvin's having some technical difficulties, and we're going to try to continue to get him back in. But we can definitely continue with the conversation for the time being. I just feel like Michael Vick, maybe he was taken out of context.
It could be.
Because, you know, we always, Debate Amongst Friends, we talk about media baiting all the time.
Because it's really such a thing as that. Even though you do, you know, what you do for UNC, so we're not trying to say that you do that, but there are cases where that happens, where they would say something or they would stretch the truth to a point to where it's like, well, you know, this athlete right here, he did this, this, and this, where he only just did, you know, he picked up a quarter off the ground, but, you know, he robbed the bank. What?
Right.
He just picked up a quarter, though. It was on the ground in the park. He wasn't even near a bank. In fact, all of his money is inside of a mattress.
But he robbed.
Here's my opinion about this. Because we're now living in such a PC world, Michael Vick is conveying what, and I don't want to use certain terms that got another ESPN broadcaster fired because he said this about RG3.
Yeah, don't say it. Don't say it. Helen,
Helen's already giving me that evil eye right now, so I can't say that. But
just the fact that you brought it up, like,
but he's pushing the PC agenda on him. He's basically trying to say, and they talked about this on today's Undisputed. He's basically trying to say is the image that he conveyed is not about what he did that was the issue, because he didn't really break any laws or anything like that. And I'm not going to just regurgitate everything that they're saying. I'm just giving you a recap. But, you know, it's not what he did that was an issue, because it wasn't anything illegal, because he was just standing up for something that he was believing in. It's the fact that since people are now using the image of him kneeling down, Michael Vick is saying you need to change your image to, you know, fix your reputation within the league. Because, and this is actually a great point, inside the NFL, you know, there's no such thing as, oh, well, if I can play, you know, then I should play.
Who cares?
Like, the onus is like, well, I don't like you, so I'm not going to bring you onto my team at all. It doesn't matter if you're like the best person in the world. Like, if you have bad PR, then I don't care.
Because, I mean, you look at it, like, so right now on my screen, I was looking at the Patriots, let's just say. And, you know, one of the first people I see, LeGarrette Blount. We all know what happened with LeGarrette Blount at Oregon. Right before he's senior, right? Actually, his season ended.
Yep.
They're walking up the field, and he punches a guy in the face. Yeah. Punches a guy in the face.
In the face.
And Sir catches one.
And he still got. I mean, he got drafted late. Actually, no, he didn't get drafted. I think he went undrafted. Excuse me.
Yeah. Because he ended up going to the Bucks.
He wound up going to the Bucks. Actually, he went to Tennessee first, then to Tampa. And you look at people like him. You look at a lot of people make mistakes, but in this particular situation, we're not talking about mistakes. We're talking about, hey, a person standing up for human rights, saying, hey, I don't like what's going on here. I want to try to make a difference. Sure, I would have never thought anybody would go out there and, dare I say, kneel on this flag, even though most people in the stands don't actually stand up for it. So they don't. A lot of people don't move their hats.
Nope.
You know, it's all the same thing to me. So,
well, it's all about, you know, the human perspective of hypocrisy in the end.
Yeah.
So, like just because it's such a, you know, big figure. It's Colin Kaepernick. You know, he almost won the Super Bowl during the blackout Super Bowl a few years back. Like,
oh god, not the blackout Super Bowl.
Oh, I went there. So for the crowd, for the people, you know, not just the people who disregard him, but even those millions of people listening on to this podcast right now. They take it and they go, oh, it's the worst thing in the world. And, you know, they take it out of proportion. Like, can we all at least agree that they took this situation way out of proportion?
Way out of proportion. And, you know, part of the problem is that Colin Kaepernick is in way too big of a market for, like, the 49ers in general.
Yes.
True, yes.
Like, if this happened in Jacksonville, whoever the quarterback was in Jacksonville, somebody takes a knee, are we still talking about it right now?
That's where the question, I don't know.
Well, and that's the problem. There's too many, you know, what if scenarios. What if it was in this place? What if it was, you know, a different quarterback? Well, it was a white quarterback. Like,
right.
We can't keep talking about the what ifs about these situations. The fact that it happened, the people reacted the way that they did. You know, we're now looking at the current aftermath. You know, but what we need to think about is how can we move forward? Like, everyone.
He would have to get signed. That's the only way to move forward.
Everyone's still bad talking Colin Kaepernick, but the one thing they're not talking about is all of the, you know, philanthropy that he's been doing.
Right.
You know, no one's focusing on that. They're just saying, well, this is the guy who kneeled during the during the national anthem. Oh, but what about what he did for these people over here? Oh, well, I don't care about that.
So, what is it going to... I mean, so is that the image that you think Michael Vick might have been talking about? I mean, he's trying. It's not like he's not trying. He delivered water to some countries. He's, you know, obviously done some rallies. He's obviously made plenty of headway. What is it going to take? And why is Michael Vick now taking all this heat? It's getting ridiculous.
It is.
Unbelievable. Well, to one of the main events here, the reason why Mac is here, and what was that, Chris? So, ladies and gentlemen, we just got word that not be returning to the podcast. Technical difficulties will keep him away, but we definitely appreciate Mel coming on the show and participating in Debate Amongst Friends.
Shout out to MLP. Way to hold it down.
Mel P, 2 mics up. All right, that's enough of that.
I don't know about that, but let's just keep going.
Well, it was a Styles. It was, like I said, Styles P, 2 guns up. You know, it was just whatever. So in the FGC, we have a new Street Fighter champion in town, and his name is Tokido. No, I'm not gonna do that. Tokido.
I told you that song was gonna get stuck in your head. I told you that.
That was a good one. That was a good one. It was definitely a good one. So we were live, obviously. Debate Amongst Friends, Doc and Prof, and Mac was on the stream on the Twitchosphere. Not Twittersphere, but the Twitchosphere.
Yes.
I don't think it's called.
And
go ahead.
We're gonna call it that for right now because
Got it.
Doc said so. Stone Cold the Rock Doc Ocean said so.
Wow. K-Brad's about to get pissed right now.
Oh my god. So, Street Fighter. Top 8. What the heck did we just see? What in the world, guys? First of all, and we're going to get to this. This is what we all came for. There's a pissant in Street Fighter. His name is Zangief.
Oh my god!
We're gonna get there.
I don't know. Chris might not. We might need to go overtime for this one because we're probably gonna go like 10 minutes overtime, Chris. So just FYI.
We're gonna cut it short. So the top 8 in Street Fighter. Was anybody? I mean, outside of the last game. Was anything else surprising to you outside of the last game?
You know, I mean, I guess Punk kind of surprised me. Just like, I mean, it always surprises me though to like see somebody from America get that far in Street Fighter.
That's true. We talked about that.
Yeah, it's. I wish it wasn't like that. It's like that. But I mean, even with the character he did it with, like Karen, like he went hard with Karen.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was thoroughly impressed, and honestly, I thought that he was going to end up being Taquito, and then things went very, 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 very wrong.
I mean, does anybody know what happened out there? Like, I was just sitting there, and then all of a sudden, I looked up, and there was confetti falling, and Tokido was up there.
Yeah.
I don't think it was like that.
Nah,
I don't think it was like that at all, sir. I'm like, what is he talking about? I'm like, no, that's not right.
No, that's not how it went down. Alright, so basically my problem with the final match is that I felt like Punk should have did the ha 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 thing, and I don't know what it's really called.
Ultra combo?
Right, the ultra ha 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 combo, which I don't understand why he didn't do it. Several times he had great opportunity to do the ha 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 thing, but he didn't do it, and that was I had a big problem with that, and I was like, I leaned over to the Professor John Gotti and was like, bro, why is he not doing the ha 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 thing? And he was just like, I don't know, he's on tilt. And I was like, there's not enough tilt in the world for you to not go ha 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 on this guy who's in the air. Mind you, he's in the air jumping, and I'm just like, oh my god, he's about to hit him with it. And nothing happened. It was no ha 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 ha. And I was like, oh man. And then because Tokido, he was the button to press. He did the what's that thing called?
The Raging Demon.
the Raging Demon.
Yes.
Where everybody went crazy.
I've also went crazy. In fact, I'm pretty
He
surprised
did
I still
go
have a
crazy.
voice.
That was
He did go
nuts.
crazy. But honestly, I was surprised based on what I saw the previous day. I was surprised at how poor F Champ played. Based on his Saturday
what
gaming.
What surprised you about what he's talking about? And we need to go back to the final match in a second. But what surprised you?
Yeah, we definitely will. Well, I felt like when he was, I felt, and I said this, and for the folks that weren't there, and I don't know if you saw it, Mac, but F Champ went against Combo Fiend in that little demo, and I really felt like that destroyed his confidence. I don't care what he said. I would never want to take a loss before a match or before I'm about to go play, because that's not good. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't want to go and play after just getting destroyed by Combo Fiend.
Doctor, I'm going to have to interrupt you right there. So, I understand what you're saying there, but the problem is F-Champ had another situation. And, Mac, I don't know if you know the situation, but it was with Marvel vs. Capcom 3. And he did a 1st to 10 with a little-known player named Kane Blue River.
Okay.
And he destroyed Kane Blue River in his 1st to 10 series. They still had to actually compete against each other inside the tournament, which ended up being grand finals. And he was feeling himself. F-Champ was feeling himself something proper. He got destroyed in grand finals by Kane Blue.
And this is grand finals of what?
It was a different event.
Then it doesn't matter. We're talking about Evolution. It's a mystery. 2017.
But I'm not
this weekend.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just trying to say, based on your comment, you really can't take losses before in an exhibition.
No, he won that, right? And he was feeling himself, right?
Mm-hmm.
When he left Saturday, he was feeling himself. He does a lot of he's licking his lips a lot.
Oh my gosh, you did not just go there. Oh no!
All right, he was feeling himself. You know what I mean?
F-Champ,
that man.
Ryan, F-Champ. That was not me who said that.
It was definitely my name is Professor John Gotti.
Oh, you!
And I said
pissing. Oh my gosh!
But at the same time, all right, let's think about it though. You take a loss, and even though it's all fun and games, I don't care. That's gonna kill your mojo. I don't care what. You don't take no losses before no tournament. I wouldn't even, superstition or not. You just don't even do it. And as it showed, because I felt like he had more oomph in the battle to get top 8 with Dowsum. Like, he was really balling with Dowsum. And he just didn't show up. But let's not skip past that pissant Zangief.
Oh no.
So I was so happy to see Tabashi get eliminated.
Itabashi Zangief.
I skipped that eye. We're skipping that eye. Tabashi get eliminated because he had Zangief. I even clapped as he went by.
He actually did clap, which was like...
That's amazing.
When he walked by, I clapped.
But not for the reason you think.
Yeah.
Because, I was so tired of seeing that slam, and I was like, if he makes it to the finals, granted, I think Punk would have beat him super duper free.
Right.
I think it would have been free 99.
I'm so mad you said that.
It would have been. There's no way. I wish that it didn't go down like that for Punk, but not saying Zangief. was worth the price of admission?
Zangief is by far and away
Uh-oh.
the most
Uh-oh.
frustrating character
in
Street Fighter.
More
If there's
Fang?
one character that is going to make me rage, it's Zangief. Just watching him makes me like antsy and irritated because his grabs are just so ridiculous. Like they take like a third of your health.
And it's ridiculous because it's like I felt like he can't punch, he can't kick,
No.
he can just slam. And I was like, I don't want to see this in the grand finals. I don't want to see this.
He has
it's basically like watching Brock Lesnar out there.
Basically, he has like this backhand that he does that's kind of good for spacing, and then like a couple other things, I guess. But I mean, mostly it's almost like Bane. Only Bane knows how to do things across the screen and things like that. But that's a whole other game.
Injustice too.
I just dived into my obsession of the past 2 months.
I mean, I get it though. It's just like I hate it so much. I was like, and everybody in the crowd was going crazy over Brock Lesnar. I mean, Zangief. Zangief out there with his 3 moves of doom.
Wow.
And I was like, what the heck is going on? This is like watching Bushwhacker Luke out here. And I was like, what in the world is going on out here? Can somebody please tell me why everybody's cheering? Anyone. And I just can't even deal with it. I just can't.
I mean, at some point, you got to get out the DJ Khaled soundbite. Just
another one, right?
Another one.
I don't know what it was. Like
another one.
Zangief suplex.
I can understand everyone's grief on this podcast.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
That is
perfect. Everybody's grief.
But I don't think the Dr. seen Fang compete because I feel like that he'll feel worse about.
But it's like that
a Fang player versus a Zangief player. Like I feel like I understand the issue just based off of he's a wrestling kind of character. Most of his moves are mainly slams, as you like to so eloquently put it. But I mean, he does have the vanishing flat, which is the backhand move to use to knock out fireballs. But he also headbutt fireballs too, and you've seen that too, and you didn't have any kind of reactions to that. I mean,
of course not, because I was too overwhelmed. I even notice anything
for me, I would have loved to have seen a All-American Evo finals because based off of the news, based off the Twitter sphere, America owned Street Fighter V.
America went out quickly.
America went out very fast.
Yes.
I mean, it was really, really stupid quick, but at the same time, it was like stupid mistakes.
Yes. And a lot of mistakes.
A lot of dropped combos. I mean, but just one more thing on Zangief.
Oh, gosh.
I mean, it was like the police officer had said. It's like, hey, when you're young, you're playing Street Fighter, whatever, the oldest one, or maybe the one after the oldest one, you just get E Honda and you just keep going, boom, 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 letting the person jump into you until they die. And that's kind of how it felt.
It really isn't that way, though. I mean, it's a totally different dimension to how people play these days.
Like, that's how it felt. Exactly.
Like
suplex.
The ability to anticipate your opponent's moves and to be able to react accordingly is, what separates champions from basically bums. I mean,
let's just say I was happy that there was a William Regal to that Goldberg.
I see what you did there.
I'm just so happy
I got
that William Regal was able to push Goldberg to the limit and actually in this one actually get the win. But I know we don't want to steal away from Tokido, which is crazy because, and Brand, granted, everybody, with the exception of some people, because I don't know if we walked past them or not, we spoke to Punk, or we ran into Punk. I think you spoke to F Champ.
Mm-hmm.
You definitely spoke to Knuckle Dude.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we walked past MOV. I'm not too sure.
Yes, we did.
I mean, we were out there with Justin Wong, bro.
We were.
Whoa.
We were out there with K-Brad, bro. Daigo was standing right in front of us for like 15 minutes. Xavier Woods was playing the game right in front of me. I literally said, yo, keep your head up, big dog. And he was like, I'm going to take it one game at a time. And I was like, man, I just talked to Xavier Woods like it was nothing.
Right.
We was
John got to talk to Maximilian. Yeah.
Oh, I'm jealous.
Like I'm saying, like, we were out there. We saw Ricky Ortiz. He was standing right next to her.
Yep.
Helen
is looking at me really, really angrily because of what you just said.
I don't know.
Okay, she's like literally writing stuff in her notepad right now.
Oh God. I mean, NY Chris G and what's that other guy from Maximilian's show? You took a picture with him with the hair.
Kenny.
Oh, Kenny.
Yep.
Kenny. We saw him. I mean, we took a picture with the guy Yoshimoto. What's his name? Oh no.
Yoshihiro.
Oh God.
Yeah.
That's what I said. I knew it. I mean, we were all over the place this year. And I mean, Knuckle Dude had it. No, he didn't have it.
No.
But he said he had it. He said he had it. When we ran into him, he said he had it. He didn't.
No.
He didn't have it.
No.
I mean, the first person we met, Smuggle.
Oh.
We talked to Smug right out the gate.
Very first.
So, and he said himself, anybody got a chance out here. Anybody. But Toki don't want it though. And it was another boyhood dream that becomes a reality.
And it really was. I mean,
And
first
some
of all,
people-
shout outs to everyone who actually competed, first of all.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, because it's hard to do so, especially, you know, around people who are, you know, decades better than them because they can basically play this game as their lifestyle versus just a hobby. So let's just do that first. Shout outs to them.
Can I just say though first, some people were really surprised that Akuma won the tournament.
I'm not.
Some people were really shocked. I heard people in the elevator like, "Oh man, I think you were in the elevator with me." He's like, "Man, he beat Punk, not free, but he beat him with Akuma."
No, he beat Punk free.
So
it wasn't.
It was.
It wasn't super free.
It was.
I mean,
free.
it was like
after he reset the bracket, it was free.
It might have been 99 cents.
It was free.
And you know, see, I'm kind of like on that fence of being shocked and not being shocked because Akuma, like, he's a strong player,
right,
or a character, but at the same time, like, his health really kind of hurts him.
Mm-hmm.
But
well, see, that's what I felt about Karen. Like, I felt like, and again, Akuma versus, I think it was Dawson, and I was just like, what in the world?
right.
Akuma versus Karen. What in the world? Cammy. What in the world? Zangief.
Zangief.
Oh my goodness.
What shocked me about how he played Akuma, though, was his pressure on Karen was insane.
Well, John Guy said he stopped pressing buttons.
It kind of looked like it.
And I'm telling you, I was sitting there like, bro, he's in the
pressing
air.
The buttons. He had to literally sit there and guess and find out what's next. And every single time he tried to guess, he kept being wrong with his guesses.
I think I said throwing the damn towel.
I mean, I said the same thing about some of the matches people had against Kazunoko. You know, they had to try to guess the mix-up, and she went for her diagonal spiral arrow, and they kept losing that mix-up.
They did. Yeah. They did. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, all in all, the match, you know, itself, it's hard. I mean, Punk is very young, and he was the last American, so, you know, he really wanted to take the American pride on his back. And he even took it to Twitter afterwards, like, you know, even though he lost, like, he showed that he, you know, wants to return. He wants to just become stronger than what he was, learn from his mistakes. Like, I mean, you got to give him a lot of credit for it, but it was Tokido's day. Everything that he did. Oh, Chris decided he wanted to extend it 10 more minutes for us.
Yeah, we're good, Chris. Don't worry about it, Chris. I run the show, Chris. We run the show.
Wow.
Shut up, Chris.
Wow.
Shut up.
See, you keep saying that to Chris, but then he'll start, you know, trolling you. So you might want to be careful.
Absolutely. You know he will.
But I mean, you know, he was the last American, and you know, he really wanted to win the tournament. Like, people was asking him about the money and things like that, asking if he's just satisfied with the money. He's like, no, I really want to win Evo, because he understands the impact of winning Evolution. You know, Evolution, for those that don't necessarily hear Professor John Gotti say it so often, but Evolution is not a mystery.
It is a mystery.
It is the Super Bowl of fighting games. It is the WrestleMania of fighting games, because of how much impact it is. Yes, but it's also a mystery.
Yes, it's a mystery because you just never know who's going to take it. Obviously, clearly, we know that now.
Well, coming into Evo, Punk was the all-out favorite to win Evolution. Like, he had such a great year. He was showing that he was the most dominant person out there. And there's this one YouTuber that I don't have the name off the top of my head right now, so I apologize for it. You know, I completely agree with what he said. If there had to been a Japanese player to win it, you know, I'm happy it was Tokido, and I completely agree with that statement. Like, Tokido definitely put in his work.
But you want to know what happened? Also, we had another commentary curse out there.
There was a lot of commentary curse. Not even just another. It was a lot of them.
Because the commentator said, "Hey, it was Tokido who beat Punk," and I'm sure Punk heard it.
Yep.
Because it seemed like right after that is when it really started to go down.
I have to disagree with that one. And I usually do agree
with that.
The point of the entire grand finals that turned the tide in Tokido's favor was after one round, and Tokido did the taunt into a combo.
No, I'm not buying that. He was already after that. There's nothing he can do. And that was after the comment.
Doctor, you could check the tapes.
That was after the comment, though. Also,
and I understand that, and I'm not disagreeing with that. But what you have to understand with fighting games, if you get taunted and lose, it does something to your soul.
Oh, it's demoralizing.
No, that's unbelievable. You guys, if you guys are playing next year, you guys better not let me so mad. I'm serious. I'm so mad. If you come back to the sideline and I got demoralized because he taunted me, like I might just leave. Like, I might leave. I'm just gonna.
You know what the problem is? It's the fact that the doctor doesn't play fighting games. He doesn't understand the impact it has on the psyche of a player. Like, I
would have just shook my head, like, okay, that's how you want to do this?
Like,
all right, it's on.
Getting a taunt or even getting a teabag happening before you lose a round is like the equivalent of what Tecmo Bowl Super Bowl, and you're playing as Bo Jackson and running around the entire field for an entire quarter. Like,
there is no difference. There's no difference between you doing that taunt that he did in Street Fighter and somebody catching an interception, taking it back, and high-stepping in the end zone. Not going directly in the end zone, but actually going to the end zone line and going across it horizontally. There's nothing. There's nothing you can tell me.
The worst part is, I'm pretty sure all three of us has done that at one time.
Yes,
absolutely.
So I'm not trying to hear that.
I'm gonna try my hand at explaining this because I've played enough games online to where I run into situations where I think that I'm reading the opponent, correctly, and I'm actually going to land hits. I'm not landing them. And I'm like, okay, so at least I'm going to step up my defense. My defense isn't doing anything. Near the end of that game, after you've gotten good and frustrated because you can't really do what you thought you were able to do against somebody, and then they start taunting you, and then they finish you off, it picks at you a little bit.
But see, it's a difference because these are some of the best players in the world, so it's got to be a lot different. Like, it's different for us. Like, if I'm playing Street Fighter and somebody's taunting me, I'd be like, that was pretty embarrassing, but whatever, I'm still learning. Like, I was getting destroyed once in Madden, which has never really happened to me too often in my adult life, or even in my childhood life, getting destroyed. And, like, he kept offering me the peaceful quit thing. And I was like, I don't want that crap. Get that crap out of here. I'm going to keep playing until, whatever. It is what it is. But some people...
And that right there, Doctor, is exactly what Punk did. He didn't try to switch over to Nash. He didn't try to switch characters off. He just let it ride.
And I guess that's why he was so disappointed in himself. But at the same time, it's like, you don't want to abandon your strategy. A lot of NFL teams don't abandon their strategy. You just gotta roll with it.
Well, and that caught up during the Injustice Tournament 2 with Sonic Fox. Like, little things like that where it's like you don't make the correct adjustments quick enough.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like, he tried to roll with Red Hood way too long.
Yes.
And it was too late by the time that last match hit. I was just like, oh.
But what could what could he have done? I mean, I got a chance to watch him in the losers match.
Yeah.
I guess
a lot of the problems with what Sonic Fox did on like a game related, spectrum, because I know he wasn't feeling well. I saw on Twitter, like, he got, like, really sick. Like, I don't remember if it was the day before top 8 or whatever. Doesn't matter. But game-wise, Red Hood is a really hard character to be good with.
Yes.
Against high-caliber players.
Okay.
And so what he was trying to do during, especially, like, both matches against Flash, and then I don't even remember who he lost to in the losers finals.
He lost to
Superman,
wasn't it?
Yeah, that wasn't even losers finals, was it? He didn't get. It might have been Superman. At any rate.
Well, he was Catwoman.
Fifth. It was Catwoman.
Fifth. Okay.
Catwoman.
Yeah, it was Catwoman.
Yes, it was against Semiji.
Yeah, Catwoman. He was getting destroyed out there. Damn.
Both of those characters, they have very quick feet. With what Red Hood does is you laying down mines and then you try to like frame trap them with the ninja stars or whatever, where like they have to pick one hit or another. Flash can get out of that really quick. Catwoman can get out of that really quick, and Catwoman actually has that whip to where she extends her range, especially if she jumps up in the air. Like, all in all, like, especially against that Catwoman matchup, like, he could have chose Black Adam a little bit sooner to try better to zone, at least, or to just show who even picked Catwoman.
Like, I forget who that was.
Semij.
Okay, Semij. So, I mean, he could have given them a different look. I mean, of course, it's something that they've seen before, and I think that's probably what he was thinking. They know his Black Adam, so he's not going to try it. But his Black Adam is ridiculous. Like, if I was him, I just wouldn't roll with it. I mean, you won CEO with it, so I mean, I don't know.
See, it's not even that that I was disappointed with Sonic Fox, and I apologize to interrupt you, Doctor, but I need to get this point across. It's not the fact that he didn't choose Black Adam that surprised me. It's the fact that he didn't even choose Joker.
That's true. That's true. He does have a really good Joker.
And you don't see a lot of Jokers in Injustice and tournament play.
Right.
Online, absolutely, but tournaments, not a lot.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's a very good point.
That's crazy. That's like really, really crazy to me.
I mean, not to mention, his boss was standing right there. Oh, that was the other person that we seen, or at least I seen, because I believe the doctor went up back.
Yeah, my eyes. My eyes.
It was too much hype for him. It was too much hype for him.
Yeah, my eyes were like, because there's like this beam of light that just is hitting me. It was just pounding me. And we were watching Blazers Blue, Blue Blazers.
Blaze Blue.
Blaze Blue.
Street Fighter, the 64, then the 32. And then...
Oh, no. It was Guilty
that,
Gear top
Guilty.
8. And then we was also watching
okay.
top 32, top 16 for Street Fighter 5.
It was rough, man. My eyes were taking a pounding.
I gave the signal to Chris. We're going to go another 10 minutes.
We don't have to go another 10 minutes. I mean, but my eyes were pounding. I mean, I was like, I need to get out of here. But you were saying you saw his boss.
Yes. So Rick Fox was in the house as well.
Oh,
he
was.
Yeah, he was. I mean, he got a lot of money invested. He better be.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I mean, not even most. A small percentage of actual, team owners will actually care about how their player are doing. Like people like Red Bull, not so much. Like hey, here your sponsor, just don't do anything stupid to make us look bad, kind of thing. But like Echo Fox, absolutely, they're fully invested. Evil Geniuses, absolutely, they're really invested. Not so much in the FGC side as much now because they lost a lot of good people, but more so in like their League of Legends and their Dota teams and stuff like that.
Dota,
right? Yeah, Rick Fox he's put everything into that team, and it showed at Evo.
They really did. They really were winning out there.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like they kind of, because I heard a little while back that Sonic Fox had joined Echo Fox, and eventually I was like, oh, okay, so Rick Fox runs this team. All of a sudden, it's like they're everywhere.
Yeah,
they're taking over everything. Like,
well, Echo Fox ran through Evil Geniuses.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is why their FGC team isn't doing that well anymore because they took people like, Momochi and Justin Wong and Mewtwo came as well too.
That's why I can't wait for, Team Neutralize to be created.
Oh my gosh.
Starring Mac and Professor John Gotti.
Yeah.
Team Neutralize.
Point me the game, coach. Right.
And me just being the advocate wearing suits and getting people in trouble.
I think you just want to wear suits and just start talking smack. I think that's what you want to do.
It sounds like something that I would be interested in. I would get a chance to just, say whatever I feel and run with it.
Oh, gosh. But let's just quickly go through all the other different tournaments. Notable people that people wanted to be either in Grand Finals or to win it all. Daigo didn't make it into top 16.
He tied at 17. Don't be a pissant.
After I told the doctor that Daigo was not going to win it, but
how about no Nicoli's making it to the top 8?
I'm actually surprised with that one. Like this year, we had we had all distinct characters this year.
And no
versus
Nash.
Last year we had so many Nashes, so many Armitas, and so many Nicoli's. So
really a lot of Nashes. I hated Nash too. Like really hated it. I hate that arm.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie to you. I am a Nash player. Nash and Drew. Those are my two go-tos.
Oh my god.
Wait, Mac, I just got word from
Team neutralized.
I just got word from Stacy, the doctor's secretary. You've been kicked off of Team Neutralized.
Oh my god.
You've been kicked off. I'm sorry.
Not a Nashville. At least it's not Zangief.
No, it's not Zangief.
I don't know. I might have to start practicing with Zangief then.
Don't do it.
Hashtag muscle power.
Like,
oh my god! But I was
Street Fighter 4. Jury's been my favorite character though. Sorry.
I feel you. But alright, let's go through this here. So Super Smash Brothers for Wii U. Let me tell you something. Did you watch it, Mac?
I caught the grand finals. Yeah.
Perfect. Because let me tell you something. I was in the room trying to get my rest on, and I was like, man, Salem needs to reset this so I can lay back down for 10 more minutes. Because I don't want to see this. And lo and behold, we're walking through the casino. John Gotti says, the bracket has reset. I said, oh, dang you, Salem. Why couldn't you do this 5 minutes earlier? And then we get back down there. You know, we walk down the stairs like bosses. Like, who are these guys that are sitting on the floor? You know, obviously, the next Evolution 2017 Street Fighter champion and his advocate, the Stone Cold Rock Doc Ocean, sitting in the front row with his arms folded.
I feel like Vinnie Mac is going to sue us.
He's just waiting for somebody to say something out of their mouth so that he can basically go crazy on them.
I'm sexy.
But I was happy for Salem though, and then he went with the Black Pride on us.
Yes.
Which Disney
made you very happy when it happened.
I was pretty pumped. I was pretty upset. I was pretty upset that he didn't reset 10 minutes earlier. Seriously, but I was happy that he got a chance to win. I mean, you know, drop that 0 and get ourselves a Salem.
Yeah, wow. When he yeah, you know, it's funny because I watched I saw him get knocked into losers.
Okay.
And I don't know why, like, I picked him specifically to where, like, I watched it and I was just like, you know, I feel bad for this dude, but he might come back and do something.
Yeah.
And then he came back and did something.
So it seems like we should contact him for Team Neutralize.
Well, he's not really sponsored, though, but I get what you're saying.
I mean, maybe we should look through this list here and start getting, start stealing some of these top 25 guys. We can't offer them a lot, but we can offer better than the nothing that they're getting.
You're going to have to sit down with Scott and talk to him about this. That's out of my hands.
Scotty do.
But
That's enough of that.
Let's keep going because we have about 3 minutes left if we're trying to do this hard stop of this subject. The
Blaze Blue,
you're gonna do Blaze Blue next? Okay.
No, I hated Blaze Blue. I thought it was really crazy. I didn't know it was really. So.
I think you got upset because of the winner because he had like 2 characters.
It was weird. I didn't like that at all. That whole thing was stupid. Let's go to Tekken. I didn't like the fact that Tekken had so many people playing as Jack. I feel like Jack was just. I feel like every time I looked, Jack was on the screen.
It was only
Jack
2 people.
Is weak sauce.
I feel like they were on the screen. They were on the screen a lot.
They just kept picking people who, who deals the most damage. But Jack didn't win it though.
I really wanted to see Nee up there.
Yeah.
I mean,
I really
know
want to
someone
see Nee.
who was.
I want to see Nee.
I see what you did there. I know one person who wasn't happy about one of the character selections in top 8, and that would be Kenny. Because of Lucky Chloe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still have his salty picture saved on my phone. Like, that was. I felt his pain because, like, I love Eddie. Like,
Same
he's
here.
an awesome character. And when they did that, I mean, you could feel Kenny's soul die in that very instance.
You can't even feel like you can see it, you can taste it, you can all 5 sentences.
All of it.
And sometimes you have to savor the plays.
Yeah.
But let's keep going real quickly. Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Your boy Chris G couldn't get the job done.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it was pretty rough for Chris G. But he's another one that was dropping combos like left and right.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, he kind of deserved that loss with the drop combos.
I mean, but Vegas had a local kid win Evo, so I'm pretty happy about that. Plus, it's the final Marvel vs. Capcom 3 at Evo. So, what a way to send it home.
And I felt the same way about Super Smash Brothers Melee, which obviously I felt like that should have been on Sunday rather than the others.
We're definitely adding 5 more minutes for that one because you definitely had a lot to talk about Melee.
I mean, I enjoyed it. I didn't like the fact, and obviously, Mac, you weren't there again. Next year, you gotta be there.
Yes.
But here's the thing about Evo. And this is what I want you guys to prepare yourselves for when you go up there and win the championship for your respective games. And if you guys go face to face, that would be awesome. Team neutralized wins.
I would break you.
Oh God. But the problem is, once you become champion, you automatically become. Oh God! You automatically become a heel, so to speak. So it's like everybody just starts to hate you. So when Hungrybox got up,
wait, hold on. So that's not the truth. It's not the fact that he was the champion that everyone booed against him. And I think I told you this after the match when I found that on Twitter. It's the fact that he actually got coaching help after one of the games.
Come on,
that's why.
Stop it.
And that's a big
coaching help.
That's a big no-no.
I did hear about that.
That's a big no-no.
Not a no-no.
It is
Come
a no-no.
on.
It is a no-no.
What's coaching? Hey, don't let him hit you too high or you're gonna die.
You're not supposed to get coaching.
What's coaching though?
Exactly what you just said.
Don't get hit too high or you're gonna die? That's not coaching, that's a fact.
Like they're telling them about certain patterns that they're doing and telling, helping them out with certain adjustments that they need to make.
But how do you know that's not hater baiting?
How do we know what the rules are, Doctor? I mean,
but I know I hear the rules, but did we see it?
No, because he was too far away. We didn't see it, but everyone else seen it as well.
A hater could have saw it. A hater could have saw it, bro. That's all. You want to make sure you're aware of that.
About 1,500 haters then.
Got a couple of haters.
Okay, Doctor, we're gonna let you know with that. But that was the reason why they was booing Hungrybox.
Really? But come on, for one-time coaching?
Just telling you.
That might have not even really happened?
I'm just telling you. What happened?
I hate it. Oh God, I'm so over that game. Obviously, but I mean, Mango, I was pretty happy with. People were really behind Mango, and obviously the Terminator Armada won. He dropped the leather jacket, came out with the clean cut. But hey, back-to-back two-time,
we kept walking past too, which is awesome.
We did walk past Armada several times. The Terminator, and then obviously Mango, the eater of wins. He was out there playing very well. He just, that Fox, whoever played with Fox, and it looks like out of the top 8, 5 people played with Fox, and they all basically did the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
They would be off the stage, and they would do that, and they would go right down and die.
Yes.
So it was literally really, really stupid. But shout out to Armada winning with Princess Peach. I mean, Andrew Bogut. But I really meant Princess Peach. He did it. The Terminator. We actually already talked about Injustice 2. And then, I mean,
shout out to Dragon.
Yeah, I don't know if you really care about Guilty Gear.
Well, one thing I do have to point out about Guilty Gear.
Okay.
That perfect against Ogawa.
Yep.
That was nuts.
Perfect.
Guilty Gear is intriguing to me because I haven't been playing it that long. Like I've literally only been playing it for like a month or two, like any Guilty Gear ever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so difficult. Like just the way that the game kind of like just like how the buttons work and how the movement works in comparison to other games. Like that game's hard.
It looks
very hard.
Yeah. So when I watch other people like play that and play it really well, like that's impressive.
I mean, I'm not giving anybody any credit for it or anything, but it's a weird looking game.
Oh, it's really weird looking.
Unless you win, then it's something different. So that's the game you're going for. That'd be perfect. I have no problem stirring up any pots. So if you need me to go up to, let's say, Nage or Pure or any of these guys, I'll do it. Mac can take anybody out here. He says you are guilty. And he's got the gear to prove it.
Yeah.
Mac, you need to be careful on this guy.
I get up on stage and they get like a triple perfect on me in 3 rounds. It's like, oh.
That was luck. All luck.
All luck.
Are you going
earlier today?
Run it back. Pepper run back.
Oh my goodness. But final thoughts on Evo, Doctor.
Great opportunity. Great show. When we were there, obviously there were some timing issues with some of the games, but for the most part, it was great. I mean, everybody's always so friendly and everybody's always so nice. You get a chance to meet people. We went to some great panels, got to take some great pictures, got to see some great people. So everything was pretty cool. I'm hoping that Matt gets a chance to come out next year, and hopefully we get some more people. I am on the fence about playing, but I would have no problem putting on the advocate suit and causing cash. I really wouldn't. And that's just all Stone Cold, The Rock, Doc Ocean has to say about that.
Oh my goodness. For me, since I was also there, one thing that I was really excited to play and I had a chance to play was the new Eureka game. Their new EX is still in development, and I had a blast being able to play. I was able to, play against, pretty good up and comer. Didn't get his name, but
don't be mad. Oh my God! Why don't you stop it? Oh my God!
Why don't you
tell the people the truth? You tell people the truth. He beat that kid free. He wasn't no young and up and comer. Going downhill. I mean, the only thing that was up was his hair. Come on, John Gotti, stop it! You beat the heck out of that kid. Shattered dreams.
It wasn't my fault.
It wasn't your fault. Don't sit here and give him a participation trophy just in the case that he might be listening. He's a bum out there.
It wasn't my fault. He kept getting hit with my fist.
It was really terrible. Like, it was like the epitome of free. Like, this is a free demo, but he got beat free on a free demo.
Mac, to be honest with you, I'll level with you, and this isn't for me to entice
level with him.
Salt within the people, because we at Debates Among Friends want to give people the facts and never fiction, because Debates Among Friends tonight is sponsored by Summer Shanty. Make sure you pick it up at your local grocery store. Official, unofficial sponsor for tonight.
Love it. Love it. I actually got the name of it. Leinenkugels. Leinenkugels. There you go. Oh, so good.
But the gentleman didn't get around on me.
He didn't barely get a hit. Like, it was so terrible. Like, you really
that old doo-wop, eh?
I was playing on the stick that I didn't configure the buttons.
Oh, God.
Oh, he said he didn't configure the buttons.
That's what I'm saying. Oh. Ain't that something?
That is
something.
That is something.
Just because the doctor has enticed me as my advocate to tell people the truth.
Tell them the truth.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm especially looking forward to push buttons with Skullomania. Definitely a fan favorite of that franchise. I don't know if anyone knows this, but for the Street Fighter EX3 game, way back in the day, I actually found one of Skullomania's special moves. So, if you go on like GameFAQs, I believe, and you look up like if it's GameFAQs is another one of those. If you look up his move list, like you'll see me in one of his moves.
That's crazy.
So
That's it.
I know we got to get to some. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, let's move on because we definitely went way over time for Evo. Let's tell you.
I told you. I think once we lost Mel P, it was like I knew I had to pick it up a little bit because we lost an active voice, which I told you I need to just throw alley-oops.
I think the people want us to go into the last subject of the night, sir.
Right. All right. So WWE and more starting now. So can we start with Kurt Angle?
Let's start with Kurt Angle.
He's still wrestling?
No.
Yeah. No, he's not wrestling. He's a general manager right now.
Oh Lord.
He's a general manager. But it was just released that he's actually the father of one of the African American. Check with Helen. Is that all right?
Yes, she gets a thumbs up. She's actually laughing right now at you.
African American young superstar's father, and the memes went wild.
Yes, I actually had a great time on the Game Runners Facebook page and on Twitter. It was quite possibly one of the funnest times I had in a long time.
The memes went wild. Like, wow. So what do you think about that angle, though, Professor? Like, what do you think?
I feel like they audibled. They had an original plan, but it was leaked out. And because it was leaked out, they had to do something.
Damn you, Eric Bischoff.
Exactly. If you think about it like that, it makes sense now.
But at the same time, it was like, really though, his biological son?
Yeah.
It was like
I mean,
wow.
One of the funniest memes out there was a storyline that he had back in the day when he was feuding against Booker T. And Booker T's real life wife was actually part of the storyline where Kurt was making a lot of sexual advancements towards her. So there was a lot of memes showing Queen Sharmell, Kurt Angle, and then below that show Jason Jordan as the love between. Like, so funny.
It was terrible, man. So terrible. I was like, I can't believe they did this.
I mean, the only part that I didn't like about it is the fact that it's a recycled storyline.
Right. The Hornswoggle.
Exactly.
You did say that.
Good old.
I mean, my thing is, and they also break up a pretty solid tag team.
But they wasn't doing anything with the tag team, and that's one of the gripes that we both have. Like,
yeah, they
have talent, use the talent. Hashtag let the boys play.
But now you just have two singles wrestlers.
Which both of them can definitely do their part, but then the problem is you're leaving, their careers at the mercy of bad booking. Booking that's been 50-50 everywhere, unless your name is John Flippin' Cena or Roman Flippin' Reigns.
Unless they're gonna, like I said, push the kid and let him do the angle slam and the ankle lock, because he already does the, moving of the arm straps and kind of get out of my way, out like Kim Shamrock, which, Kurt Angle kind of took some of that. But it's just like, are they going to let him go straight Kurt Angle on us? Are people going to, and I said this earlier, are people going to say, you suck for the rest of his career?
It's possible, especially with how, wrestling fans, look at wrestling these days.
And is he ready for that?
Who knows? We don't know.
Ready for
we
that?
Have no clue.
And that's the part that I'm concerned with. Is he ready for that? But obviously, we have some more things. Obviously, that was kind of okay. But then we had the obvious Braun Strowman coming down to interrupt the quote unquote number one contenders match between.
There's never such a thing as a legitimate one-on-one contenders match these days.
It's true. It's damn true. But we knew Braun was going to come out, and we know this has got to be a fatal four-way. But I think when you had put on a video over, I think on Sunday before we went out, where the guy in the video on YouTube was saying, this is the perfect way to have Brock Lesnar lose the title without
actually
burying him or getting pinned. And he was like, it would be great if Braun walked away with it. It would be great if Joe walked away with it. I mean, if you had your choice, what would you take between those two? Of course, anyone but you, Roman.
So, yes, exactly. Anyone but you, Roman. I would put Joe. Like, I feel like Joe can have, great matches with pretty much anyone out there. I think Braun still is a little bit green. Yes, his power is tremendous, and the look is absolutely, impeccable. But, I mean, can he really have a technical match? Not really.
I don't understand why they don't bring out, let William Regal and maybe, I know Dean Malenko's back there somewhere. Just Taz. Bring Taz and show these guys some moves. We can teach these guys some moves.
I see what you did there. But the problem is, it's never about the actual talent in the ring anymore. It's always about, does this person look dominant? Does this person look right? Never about technical wrestling. If it was, then, we have a lot more people winning the strap. We would still have CM Punk in WWE.
Which obviously is a rumor now that they want him back.
Because their product sucks.
But if CM Punk comes back, you think they're going to push him to where he was?
They have to push him as the top guy. I mean, will he win the title? Maybe once or twice, but they have to push him as the top guy. There's really no choice right there.
But then who do you bury? I mean, you bury somebody else.
You actually help establish an actual, main event scene. Like, the issue right now is the fact that the main event scene is so scattered because they don't have a full-time, Universal Champion.
What about Jinder Mahal on the other side? He's a full-time.
It's a laughing stock.
Oh my God, he's doing it for the Maharaja.
He's doing it because they freaking want business with India.
I mean, what happens if they get business with India and he's still the champion?
They already have business with India. It's all about promoting, an ethnical champion.
But he's been a pretty, outside of the interference, I thought he's done a pretty good job.
I don't know about that one.
Oh my God. I'm happy for him.
I don't know about that one. I mean, case in point, I posted a video out on the Debates Among Friends Facebook page, www.facebook.com/Debates Among Friends, and on Twitter, at Debates Among Friends. It's probably one of the best things I've ever said in the show.
Oh my God!
But Wrestling with Regret. Shout outs to Brian Zane. Did a comparison of the Kevin Owens Universal title reign and the Seth Rollins World title reign to see who was worse. Guess which one was worse?
Wow. They probably said Seth Rollins.
And you be incorrect.
I mean, I was just trolling, but whatever. I mean, the only reason I was saying Seth Rollins, I feel like they copied a lot of what we saw in the Indies at the time, especially with the two titles when Jay Lethal had it. That's the only reason I would pick that. But I mean,
he didn't go that deeply, but yes, I totally agree with that. Some of the factors that he looked at were how they won it, the length of time, records.
The way they lost it was rough.
The way they lost it as well.
Yeah.
And out of the 5 categories, and I think there's one more, Out of the quality wins, and out of the 5 categories, Kevin Owens, I believe, had 2. Seth Rollins had the first 3. So Seth Rollins won before he was finished with halfway at the video. Like, he won, which means Kevin Owens lost, which means Kevin Owens was the worst champion.
But you said it yourself that Kevin Owens is just a transitional champion, and you hate it.
And people got mad at me. Now I have actual proof.
But I think it's somewhat okay now in this particular WWE to be a transitional champion because it's still an honor, even though it's a slap in the face to us, the fans, because we've like when Bray won the championship, we were so excited, like, oh my God, Bray actually won it, like, oh man. But now, when you get it, he lost it. Yeah, he just loses. I mean, he won JoJo, but that's another story.
I mean, right there, he's the real winner. Mac, I don't know if you know who JoJo is, but
not familiar.
You can Google that later.
I could Google that right now.
He should Google it right now. Let's get a live reaction of Mac seeing a picture of JoJo.
JoJo is
WWE
JoJo.
Like Casey and JoJo.
I'm gonna do it right now on my computer along with you, so we can both see exactly what you're looking at.
I'm not gonna do it. Yeah, I'm not even gonna do it to myself.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do it to myself.
My Lord.
Yes.
And then look up Bray Wyatt.
Right.
I know who he is.
Okay. So he's the real Hall of Famer in all this.
So it kind of doesn't even matter whether he wins. Are we saying that he's good?
He's pretty good. I mean, I think he's still winning in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, being IRS's kid and going into
third
the business,
generation.
Creating a character that's very successful.
Mm-hmm. Even though it was based off another characters back in the 90s or the like midway through the Attitude Era or something like that.
But it's still creative, and I give him the credit for it because he could have just been Husky Harris or whatever else they had him doing.
It was just Husky Harris.
Yeah.
So
I think Mac is on tilt right now.
Yeah.
I just found this headline: Bray Wyatt accused of having an affair with Raw knockout JoJo. What?
Yeah.
What?
Yes.
No.
He risked it all.
Oh.
Yeah, he risked it all for JoJo.
He's a champion.
He was a champion at the time.
Oh, he's
not a champion anymore. He got RKO'd.
Oh my gosh, Doctor. Oh my gosh.
What? He got RKO'd.
No. I'm gonna send this to the chat right now so people can take a look at this.
Oh boy. What did you just do?
I'm gonna hear the live reaction.
God. Oh my god. I can't believe they did that. Did you see Big E's face?
Wait, forget about Big E's face. The cereal box is the real MVP.
It is. Oh my god. Big E's face is pretty hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I can't look at this.
I'm sorry, gentlemen. Helen, I apologize profusely, but I don't apologize at all.
That is all on you. But other than that, wrestling is taking a dark turn. I don't really feel like they're doing everything in their power to...
WWE wrestling has taken a dark turn.
Right.
Yeah.
I haven't jumped into New Japan just yet, but I will. I will eventually.
Probably should.
I just don't be knowing. I mean, only person Mega, but I don't know. And of course Ricochet. I think Ricochet's over there. He's probably one of my favorite indie wrestlers right now.
Yep.
If I was going to call anybody, I just don't want him to come to WWE when he's 38 and he can only do 25% of the moves that he could do now.
You get that right now with AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. I mean, the list goes on.
And Sami Zayn's a pissant right now.
Oh wait, and real quickly, Mac JoJo also had a little fling with Randall Keith Orton as well too. So FYI for you.
That's more believable than the Bray Wyatt thing. Like,
maybe she just likes the generation kids.
Oh my gosh.
Oh wait. I did not mean to say it like that.
Wow.
Maybe she just likes the superstars that are sons of like maybe if Stardust wasn't married, he would have had a chance.
No, because Brandy's a bombshell too.
She really is, yeah. No, but I mean, you know what I mean.
In fact, you was pretty sour after you found out when I sent you the link of who was Cody Rhodes' wife, and you lost it.
She was the announcer at the time, right?
Yes.
and then JoJo came in and took her spot.
Oh, JoJo.
Right.
I understand everything in life at this very moment.
Exactly.
All of these pictures that I see.
No. Yes. He's like, all these squares make a circle. All these squares make a circle.
No, but I just don't know if we're going to get anything that's going to be worth talking about over the next couple of weeks.
No. It's going to start picking up probably 2 weeks before SummerSlam. I mean, they can't obviously have the, dusty kind of booking that they had at frickin'
Great Balls.
Exactly. Even though, shout outs to Christian Miracle of Wrestling Sins. There was a part where Alexa Bliss got tossed into the stage paneling.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, well, now all guys are happy because Alexa Bliss just hit the great balls of fire.
Oh my god.
Hashtag ballin'. Sorry, Helen.
Oh my god, Helen.
I'm sorry, Helen.
No, God.
I'm not sorry at all because that was just hilarious.
But I think that's as good as we can do with wrestling, though, right? At this particular point with WWE, and maybe I do need to branch out and really start watching New Japan.
I mean, you should. I mean, the other thing that that I like to talk about is what culture. One of the things that they've been doing is taking into consideration actual storylines for their daily videos, which I really enjoy because it helps enhance certain storylines.
Sure.
I feel like that their booking is eons better than WWE booking. And these are just some guys out in Newcastle.
And you're talking about like the guys that be like, how I would have rebooked the NWO Invasion or something?
Something like that, yes.
I remember I watched a few of them, and a lot of times they are really, really good. I just wish that, somebody backstage would take hint.
It's not the fact that they take hints that I have offense to. It's either they ignore it or they completely copy it.
I don't think they copy. I'm trying to figure out when they copy
Broken Universe.
But the Broken thing isn't happening yet.
But the problem... No, I'm not talking about the Broken Universe being in WWE. I'm talking about the complete ripoff that they did of the Broken Universe between the New Day and the Wyatts. Exactly.
Oh, this is so stupid, though. It's still stupid.
The other big example of them just blatantly copying was, as you mentioned, Seth Rollins being a double champion. Who else did that?
I mean, Jay Lethal was a so much far better double champion.
I know. But it was more of a, I need to do it too.
We're talking about eons better.
I know.
Like, we're talking about Virgin American and Delta here.
Wow.
Come on.
Wow.
That's what we're talking about here.
Wait, hold on. Can we say that on air? Can we chastise airlines? Wait a minute. I don't think we can. I don't think that's a good idea.
Well, guess what? It just happened.
Oh no. I'm so
because
sorry,
I got a delay.
You're all great airlines. We flown Virgin, heading out to Evo. The doctor had a great time.
Virgin American.
Oh my gosh.
Row 3.
I think it's time for us to wrap up the show. I think it's time for us to wrap up the show.
Row damn 3.
Right on time. Shout outs to Chris for being clutch. Oh,
Row damn 3.
Well, Mac, we're heading towards the end of the show, and at this point, we like to do something called Final Thoughts, where we either recap something that we already talked about and just add a little bit more details behind it, or if you have something that you want the people to find out about, definitely do that. So, Mac, we'll start off with you. Do you have any kind of final thoughts you wish to tell the people?
I've just enjoyed being here. It's been a good time. It's been great getting to talk sports and things. If anybody is interested, I do write for the Tar Heel blog. Shameless promotion. www.tarheelblog.com. If that is your thing, I am there and I am writing.
Not my thing.
Not his thing.
Hilarious.
Especially not this year.
Oh my gosh.
Oh God, it still burns. It still burns.
So we definitely appreciate it. We'll definitely have you on again. We're definitely trying to expand more in esports, so we can always use another voice other than Professor John Gotti to talk about some Street Fighter, Marvel, because it's always Marvel, baby. And other video games as well too. So definitely look forward to the doc reaching out to you if he wants to bring you back on. So definitely appreciate that.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Oh,
Doctor,
absolutely, John.
Your final.
I was gonna let you go.
Nope, go first, sir.
Well, I know we talked. So I'm gonna do 2 final thoughts. The first one would be. I know we talked about it briefly before the show, but the masculinity of crying in public. Obviously, smug.
Wow.
God. Wow. Obviously, oh my God. I am just the worst. Obviously, Punk had a rough going, and it was really terrible. I mean, such celebration going on around you, the confetti, I mean, it was really falling very thick. And he's just sitting there, I mean, holding back the tears. I'm telling you right now, I would have been crying every single series that I won. Like, literally. I'm telling you, when I was an offensive coordinator for a football team in Jersey, our first touchdown, I almost started bawling. So I already know that if I'm playing a game up there and I win, if I even get to the grand finals, I don't know how much composure I'm going to be there. I mean, we're talking, I might go Cuba Gooding Jr. Show me the money. Running up and down the sideline. DP in the crowd at Evo if I was to win. But if I was to lose, I'd be done, man. In public. And it nothing anybody could do about it. But I just think it's just one of those things where people have to be more allowing of men to start showing their emotions better. The world would just be somewhat of a better place. My second final thought, I'm not sure if you guys heard, but the Celtics did allow Paul Pierce to sign a one-day contract to retire as a Celtic. And obviously that's always such a touching moment. But I wondered, how do those one-day contracts work? Like, do they get paid for one day? Or do they just like, hey, you're a Celtic, okay, you're done?
Oh,
It's like is it like $1?
that's a good question.
You know what I mean? Like, how does that work?
Paid. I don't think they get paid like an actual NBA contract, though.
Got it. I was just curious because I was sitting there like, all right, whatever. But yeah, he that was a pretty touching moment. Back as a Celtic, either they traded away to the Nets, awful trade that has Senior October still having nightmares. And
still
but that's yeah, that's a whole other story. But those are my two final thoughts on this. I can't wait for Ballers to come back on. Obviously, shout out to HBO having mostly all of my favorite shows, and Hard Knocks with the Bucks this year. Go Bucks!
Go Bucks, indeed.
Indeed.
Wow. Did you just cry inside the people?
All right, John, guys.
Still talking about Evo. It was something that happened.
It's a mystery.
Oh my gosh. It's something that happened, though. During one of Kazunoko's matches, I believe it was against Nokodu, I don't know if anyone noticed, but both players had to take off their headset and they were talking to someone off screen. Myself and the doctor were confused about it as well, too. Lo and behold, to our ultimate surprise, when I did my research after the event and all the way up to this morning to get full confirmation, ESPN, because ESPN was actually showing the grand finals, the top 8 for Street Fighter, as well as Disney XD doing for both Street Fighter and for Smash Wii U, requested that. I see what you did there. Requested that that Kazunoko change his character because they had an issue with Cammy's attire. Cammy's default normal attire is a one-piece, I guess you could say, battle suit, where the crotch area, I have to say this, Helen, I'm sorry, it's literally what they call it.
Oh my god.
It is basically looking like a thong. So they had to ask him to change it to something a little bit more eloquent, to say the least. And social media had a complete field day about it because they're like, really? Because, if you look at like volleyball or whatever like that, you'll see that same kind of thing. So what's the big problem?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's true. That's a great point.
And actually, in fact, they did the same thing last year with Armika, because Armika has the same kind of, as you could say, lining in her leotard.
But can I be honest, though? Now, I know this is your final thought, but can I be honest?
Go for it.
There are so... Oh, God, Helen, I just thought about this, but you're going to have to eat this one, Helen. There are so... Let me rephrase that. There is so much cleavage in fighting games these days. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like,
cleavage, like...
Come on.
Like, we're talking but we're still talking about a game that had to do a complete patch to remove Armika's butt slap before she did her level 3.
What about that guy that nobody uses that like scratches his butt and does a little humping motion?
Oh, you talking about Brady?
Yeah, what about that guy?
Nope.
He humps and then he scratches his butt.
He humps.
He does that.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I just think that that's kind of ridiculous.
Well, and Cammy's outfit's been the same forever, so it's like.
And that's the point. They're talking about how how they're gonna get so up in arms about a pixelated fighting game character's bootay.
Mm-hmm.
But not
so they probably were at
issue when it comes to actual professional athletes.
That's because whoever was watching probably bought some of that hentai and realized that people are nasty perverts out there.
I already had a long conversation with the doctor during Evo about animators as a whole.
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. So the people at ESPN were like, "Oh, my son, he plays this. Oh God, my son plays this game. Oh God, you know what I mean?" So
it's
like,
why are you upset about it now? Like your son's been playing it for almost 2 years already.
Time.
Like, what's the big issue?
It's a game, but I don't know. But continue, sir. I'm sorry.
But basically, the moral of the story is, well, it's easy for them to say that about that, but yet they're okay with kids, playing shooter games all the time. But it's okay though, because that thong V line though is such an issue.
Because I'm gonna tell you the truth. I've had dreams. When we playing Left 4 Dead, I go in the room, I close my eyes, I see nothing but zombies. When we left Street Fighter, I didn't go back to the room and see nothing but butt cheeks in my face. So I'm just being honest with you.
Like, and granted, there wasn't any Armikas in Grand Final, so I mean, I guess that helps.
But still, it's like like I said, I mean, it's like who zombies, rest. It's like who would sit there and be like, man, like it's nothing but cleavage in this game, and then you go back to your room and you fall asleep and you see people playing Street Fighter. No, you don't. No. But if I'm playing Left 4 Dead, if I'm shooting anything, even when we played The Division, there are times when I go in the room, I go to sleep, and I feel like I'm still playing The Division. I'm literally shooting people. Literally. Sometimes Precious gets shot, like with my hands, like that. Yes, I said it. I told you I don't care anymore. I said it. I said it in my dreams. Sometimes people get shot. It happens.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm aware. John Gotti, you can start texting me. I said it. It's okay. I'm very aware that I said it. It's okay.
Just making sure that you was aware about what just happened.
I'm very aware that it happened.
Oh my gosh.
And there's nothing I can do about it.
Oh my gosh. But I mean, first of all, if you was to watch Armika's level 3 for about an hour, I think you'll definitely agree with that. Because her and the Desco double booty into the face and then dropping you, I mean...
Does she do the ha 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 ha?
No, she doesn't do the ha 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 ha. Although, and I don't think I've shown the doctor this, but Mac, I'm pretty sure you know about this character's level 3, or I guess her revenge gauge ultra combo. Juri.
Mm-hmm.
And what she does during that.
Yeah. Yeah. Juri, she's like on the low, a very devilishly seductive character.
Yes.
She'll wink at you and then kick the crap out of you.
She's basically a spider, which is awesome.
Right. That's just the G-rated way of putting it. She's
the person. She's a
person. I'm trying to stay. I'm really trying. Like I said, next year, Team Neutralize. We're gonna go out there and Team Neutralize is really gonna go out there and play. We're gonna go out there and play. That's it. I'm gonna 5 hours a week. I'm gonna try to play. Street Fighter, I'm going to try to play Madden, I'm going to try to play 2K, mix in a little bit of Division, mix in some other co-ops that I think now that Mac is here, if we can all come together and neutralize the targets like we do on a regular basis, then we can make a team of extreme fighters.
Wow, I can't believe
and we just take over. I mean, why can't we just take over?
I mean, you gotta do it.
I mean, so the next game that I think we're going to play, which still up in the air about, I think we did see some on that E3 EA Sports release that looked pretty sweet. But I personally would like to co-op the Wildlands Tom Clancy joint. Because because I mean we played. We finished the division. We just got that. No, we finished the division. We're just in the dark zone right at this point. So will Mac? Yes. Will Mac join the division with Doc and Prof?
I will have to debate that one because right now I am in the middle of the fighting game apocalypse, and there's an unheard of amount of fighting games coming at me at every corner.
But that's okay. You know, I can deal with that because that just means that next year for Evolution 2018, where there's a mystery, you'll be able to represent Team Neutralize Grand Finals.
Wow.
In that game, in which John Gotti will be able to represent Team Neutralize in Street Fighter, I'll get a chance to run my mouth.
That's really dangerous.
At some of the world's best, including the likes of Smug, Justin Wong, because John Gotti is already the conqueror of Smug.
What?
Sorry, I forgot we were live.
We're gonna cut the show now, Chris. I think it's time for us to go to the big finish.
Big game. And that, sir, is how you create cash.
That, sir, is how you create me becoming Wolf Chrome.
I think you're gonna be fine. I think you're good. Don't worry about it. Don't worry.
But sir, tonight's track is special. It's quite instrumental in the Evolution Championship Series because it's one of his theme songs, if not the theme song, from one of my good friends that I follow a lot and we communicate off and on. Zayd, the Red Rapper Tabani, his track Evolve, which is the official soundtrack, well, the official track for Evolution Now, ever since 2011. Be sure to follow him on his Twitter, SoundCloud, Instagram, and Facebook page, and also YouTube. But thank you very much for tuning in tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I am the Professor John Gotti. You can follow me on Twitter at Kin86.
The Doc Ocean. You can follow me at TL Double on Twitter. And Mac, any Twitter handles out there for the people?
Yes, sir. Machiavelli G28.
Is that your gamer tag too?
That is my gamer tag.
So when you start releasing those games and letting the people know what you're playing, they can challenge one of the newest members of Team Neutralize.
I'm so mad that he's still saying this.
But, it's going down, guys. I don't care what nobody says.
Gosh. I'm just cutting the show right now. Here is Red Rapper Evolve. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Catch us again every single Wednesday night, 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Same debate time, same debate channel. Peace and love.
Deuces.
Believe there could be so much more. So much born and there's so much force. Hear my roar, spread my wings till the clouds drip ink and I hear my source. Hear my name, echo through the halls of the legends I transcend, depend my lore. Speak my flame and I burn louder as the keep shouting and they light my sword. Hear me sing, rise me up from the dust that I struck and the winds of change. Raise my gain, up my signal to the sound peaks out when they spot my stage. Shadows of Arcadia fall and rain, and mythology written into the sound I play. Lights all fade, and I came here to fight against destiny to test my fate. Test my will. I came here to stand in the presence of giants and every myth they built. Time stands still. I came here to etch a moment inside history that time can't fill. I breathe life in a dream instilled in the hearts and minds of every hope fulfilled. I stand on a precipice elevated in elements legendarily imminent that can't be killed. Crack the floor and fall. Shatter every wall, the Presidium force into a stone I know. Fight the titans with a bolt of lightning that I locked inside me that I can't control. I grew from nothing, I sparked into the stars through an ether spilled into the soul I art. Speak my choice, I light the fires of a brand new era as they hear my voice.
Evolve till I'm more than what they ask of me. Till I fly in ways you can't believe. Through a sky I know, on a blue horizon, in a dream I hold. My hands keep shaking, but my heart keeps strong. Though my legs keep aching, my voice keeps on. My soul keeps rising as I sing my song. I can hold my own till the clouds move on.
Come on, Johnny!
Back on my grind again, trying again, practicing my craft and my timing in. Love for competition, I'm admiring. Got nothing to lose, cause I'm trying to win. Yo, it's up to me if I wanna pass to the field. Gotta keep up, man, so I ain't last in the trail. Purpose to master what's in my class of the field. Top is cliche, but a classic for real. Through the survival, third eye open, my vision is vital. Still cutting for the title, staring at my rivals, remind them I'm here to play. Nothing new here, same script, different day. Time to grind for the war with the armor. Under the day in the life, fighting is my charmer. I'm a monster, one touch and I'm on ya. IMC for life, definition of honor.
When I say share to the apathy, I massively expand my capacity and naturally begin to evolve. I thrive as the will to strive instills energy inside me until I feel fulfilled to survive, adapt, and never stall, resolve. That's the key to evolve. So I never settle, I just treble the level of my intensity sows. Persistence and since its propensity shows. Every inch of me you sense exponentially grows till everyone eventually knows. It's my honest wish, so I promise this, that the provenance will lead to success and excess. But I stress and conceive that before I achieve these goals, I conceive I will need to address and relieve the beliefs that impede and suppress. So I'm free to proceed to exceed and progress.
I came here to yell my lungs out and lift my sound. Shake the ground until they break me down. I'm a resilience distilled into brilliance, echoing through the millions who speak so loud. I ain't come here to run, I came here to be the greatest. So point me toward the shadow of Hades and I'ma face him. Multiply my courage by 101. You wanna kill my hype, you better burn up the sun.
Evolve till I become so much more. Till I can find my wings and soar into the clouds I know. On a blue horizon, in a dream I hold. My hands keep shaking, but my heart keeps strong. Though my legs keep aching, my voice keeps on. My soul keeps rising as I sing my song. I can hold my own till the clouds move on.
If I could've lift my wings, then maybe I could've grown. Lift, I think, and maybe I could've flown. I seem to fall in brand arenas of old and temples of like die that we considered as homes. If I had a little strength still left into my bones, I'd fly over the temple of light, marble, and stone, and into the blue yonder I ponder as an unknown, illuminating the embers and light the kingdom in gold. And I'ma touch that sky with the tip of my fingers, etch my sound at the edge of a twister. Feel that dawn watch over me distant from the stage. I ain't afraid, I'm ready, I'm different. I'm the new age, I ain't ready to risk it, but I am not afraid here to show I existed. I'm a soul higher than they ever predicted. I make the impossible possible, that's how I depict it.
Evolve till I become so much more. Till I can find my wings and soar into the clouds I know. On a blue horizon, in a dream I hold. My hands keep shaking, but my heart keeps strong. Though my legs keep aching, my voice keeps on. My soul keeps rising as I sing my song. My soul keeps rising as I sing my song. I can hold my own till this cloud move on.